Hi, this is Cynthia Ortiz. These are the Charles Perry Stalker Podcast. It is Sunday, December 26, 2021. I'm sorry, December 26, 2021. And we do the disclaimer, use allegedly. Nobody's been convicted in a court of law just yet. Apply the but-for standard and the reasonable person standard. If Mr. Perry wasn't pestering me and taking my money and committing all kinds of racketeering and domestic violence and fraud upon a court after fraud upon a court after fraud upon a court, we wouldn't do these. He's a peeping Tom. We've had witness, we've got documentation, we've got all kinds of stuff. And because of all the fraud upon the court, keeping in mind I'm not there ever in the courtroom when they lie to cross-examine or provide evidence in dispute of their claims, we're wondering, is it a strip club or a court of law? These guys walk in and make it rain inside that courtroom, don't they? Something's not right. So, the song is for them. I think that the court of law deserves some respect and some fairness and some following the rules. And when I'm not a lick of law school, Mr. Perry, you should hear what people say behind your back. It's definitely can't be possibly what they say to your face. It is awful what people think of you. You did this stuff all your life and you got away with it until you met me. And you're fucking not able to put that together in your head that there's a correlation. When you mess with me, you get caught. For the first time in your lives, all of you do. So, this last denial, there should have been a hearing by law. Oh, it's Patel versus OMH. And everybody's pretty pissed off that once again, you did something you shouldn't have. I walk in the courthouse and I can tell, based on some things people have said to me, it's way out of line, very inappropriate, the things that have been said to me in the courthouse. And I'm not talking about during any kind of hearing, because remember, I'm not allowed any hearing. They've had hearing after hearing after hearing that I'm not there to dispute the claims with evidence, to cross-examine, to testify. 5 attorneys, one of them with the full resources of the Texas Attorney General's office, one against one girl with nothing. And they still can't do court right. They still can't do it right. And those are the comments, those are the rumblings, Mr. Perry, behind your back. Some people are afraid of you, that you'll do to them what you did to me and Mike and Lucky. Everybody knows what you did to Mike and Lucky. You are not fooling anybody. You really need to catch up. You're slow mentally. And it's very frustrating for everybody else to have to deal with it. Because after 8 years of your getting the same fucking results every fucking day, you pester me, you bother me, you take something, you cause a problem for me, you get told on and caught and told on. You're getting recorded all the time. There's a lot of wiretap orders, sir. You can make all the phone calls you want to make and try to ask, who is this? Who's doing this? Who's helping her? Who's investigating me? Who's leaking on me? You have been forever. And you're not getting any information, are you? Because everybody's sick and tired of you. You're not getting any help. You're not getting any help, sir. A 1-year-old little girl can sit around on their fat butt watching television, living in a make-believe world, playing with a doll. You're more feminine, you're more girl than me. You are something. Listen, you are a criminal, Mr. Perry, and a bad one. You're operating far, far, far outside social norms. You and your little organized crime thing. But this time you're not getting away with it. Every time you're recorded, sir, that's you not getting away with it. And all you had to do is leave me the hell alone. That's it. That's it. Look, if you want to be a drama queen, watch RuPaul. This is a song by RuPaul playing right now. Work. Get off your lazy ass and go fucking work. And, RuPaul doesn't need a lie or a cover-up, and you do. Okay? Everybody's sick of your drama queen act. You're not a victim. Work. Get off your ass and work. And then you don't need to lie, and then you don't need to ask who told on you, and you don't need to buy a cover-up, and you don't need to threaten and subjugate me. And you're not subjugating me, are ya? You get recorded. What do you think we're doing with that? Getting you a date? Nope. Not a date with a woman. You're not getting a date with a woman. For sure shit, not me. You're about to get a date with a courtroom and a bunch of dudes in jail. Leave me the fuck alone. Leave me the fuck alone. Stay out of my mail. So both emails to both attorneys, all of a sudden Charles is blocking them. We always know when it's him blocking them, because sometimes it's specifically ones that he wouldn't want them to have. They were also recorded. Make sure Philip and Mallory don't get her emails or anything where they can have access to what she's trying to say. So she can't go into court and say, well, I told him so. Yeah, okay. Well, there's about 4 places that they've have available to get because of that reason. But we are duly noting it for the record, Mr. Perry. My guys are sitting there recording everything you do on my phone. You try to type in it. I don't care what you think. Get out of my phone. Cloning and hacking is cybercrime. Cybercrime. Fabian puzzle, Mr. Perry. The guys that gave me that, you're pissing us all off. They're not people you want to piss off, sir. The stuff we get today. So right now, what is this deal with this marriage license? I've not seen it. Lucky asked me about it. Pinto came in and said, your husband sent me. Well, I don't have a husband, Mr. Pinto. Well, no, he sent me. No, I don't have one, so you got me mixed up with somebody else. What does she look like? Tell me the girl that you're looking is clearly not me. And he says, oh, the Texas senator. Whoa, okay, well, that guy is not my husband. Oh, your boyfriend. No, not my boyfriend either. I'm flipping on my recorder. I record the whole conversation. I could have called on the bartender, manager, bouncer, standing right in front of me across the bar. And I didn't. I recorded him. It's right here. Anybody can hear it. Anybody can hear him, what he's saying. This should have led to an immediate hearing and an injunction, because to get an injunctive order, I had already requested one 2 or 3 times in the same court of law. Federal court, Mr. Perry. Judge Jane denied your motion to dismiss. That was the one hearing I was in, and I guess you guys decided no more after that. She does a whole lot better than we thought. We've told everybody she's some stupid stripper. I wasn't always, Mr. Perry. When I met you, I was not a stupid stripper. And just if I dance, that doesn't mean, that means I'm smart enough to find a way to make money despite you. That does not mean that I'm stupid. I ran campaigns. I helped you get elected. You don't know that had I not helped you, you would have been elected. Unless you hacked your win. Did you hack your win? You like hacking. So we're not sure. Is it? You tell us. So this is clearly making this personal. There should have been a hearing immediately. Because an injunctive order is there's an injury and the injury is likely to occur again. It wasn't just likely to occur, it did. And Mr. Perry, you got prosecutors where they think you did something. Looking at my cases all over the country. You're suspected. They're looking for similarities, watching my cases. And then most importantly, our prosecutor. Wanting to know why the hell was there no hearing on when she submitted this? When she submitted an injunctive request petition after this happened. And she didn't file the recording, his attorney did. Wow, I thought he was going to object to it being... I thought he was going to want to exclude that from the evidence and have a hearing on excluding it based on it's inflammatory. These are the transcripts right here. But to my surprise, he put it on the docket. So, Mr. Warman, even in your client's criminal case, going to be very hard for you guys to argue for this exclusion. Fraud upon court, sir. 6 of them. Fraud upon court. You try to take anything of mine based on something you went into a court of law and said that wasn't true, or you concealed something intentionally that you knew to be true. That's just more criminal charges. I mean, I don't know how many different ways I need to say this. When I quote you, when I send you an email and go, you were recorded saying blah, 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 XYZ, and like the McNamara email, and I send it to you in an email 3,700 times, and I let you know you were just caught. Malicious aforethought. Premeditation. It doesn't do me any good at all to wait till you do it and then say something. I have to send an email about the recording we got of you talking about doing it, planning it. We'll wait till the dust settles and try again because she caught us. It doesn't do any good for me to wait till after. Mr. Warman, I have to do it before. So if you go into a court of law and you lie, I want you to write this down and take it to Vegas and bet on it. You will go to jail for that. However many times you want to do it. You making it rain down at the courthouse? Is it a courthouse or a strip club to you? We want to know. So, there's this. This is not political. There's nothing political discussed here. He said, you can run him at the end of it, he says, you could ruin him politically about Charles. And I said, I don't give a shit about that. You know what I want? For him to leave me alone. That's all I ever wanted. That's all he ever had to do. It doesn't cost any money at all. Certainly not $25 million. To leave a woman alone who doesn't like you. I don't like you. I'm not into guys that play with dolls, Mr. Perry. That's not my thing. If you're not normal, you can't ride this ride. You're rejected every day. 8 years. I left. I moved twice. You know what's funny? Somebody listening to these said she didn't move twice to get away from him. She moved 4 times. She left Lubbock, then she left Texas, then she left Sapulpa, then she left Manford. Because he's fucking with her in Sapulpa and Manford pretty badly. We have a dead chief of police because you did that. We know you killed him. I don't care what you say. You can lie all you want. You can sue me for slander all you want. Fuck you. We'll get you in our criminal case. Fraud up on a court. Perjury. Suborning perjury. 5 years minimum per count. We're going to get you, Mr. Perry. You're not going to get away with it this time. Write it down. Take it to Vegas and bet on it. Because if I'm quoting you and I'm sending you an email about a recording I just heard, cut up her credit cards. As soon as she makes a deposit in that checking account, I want it frozen. Do that, I dare you. You were recorded talking about it. You're going to prove out my recording. And then we'll use it in the criminal case, Mr. Perry. You can make all the phone calls you want. You're making me a legend. And you're not getting any information, are you? Where's your dolly? Where's your little doll, Miss Priss, when you get told on? Huh? You want to act like a girl? You want to be drama queen? You want to be all Liz Taylor and act like a girl? Somebody didn't like you. Now you're going around singing the somebody done me wrong song, and I'm paying you back. I'm going to subjugate you with violence. I don't think so. Not this time. Not this time, sir. Or ma'am. Which one did you want me to call you? I have a lot of friends that are trans. Interesting enough, some of them are dressed like they're a man. They dress like a woman. They want to be called a man. Some of them are a man dressed like a woman. They want to be called a woman. Each person is different. They have a different preference. What is your preference? If you're going to act like a girl and drama queen and whine and complain because you can't get a date with me and try to subjugate me with violence, economic subjugation, you're going to answer for that in our courtroom. Doesn't matter what you do in other courtrooms. The other courtrooms are going to be a problem for you too. You're going to treat a court of law like it's your diner and that judge is your short order cook? You're going to answer for it in criminal court. We're not getting these recordings of you, Mr. Perry. We're not working so very hard to get all the evidence we can to convict you in a criminal case. Whether Tulsa police participates or not, they don't have to. It's up to them. It doesn't matter. They're not going to stop us. They have never stopped us. McNamara email. Fabian puzzle. Michael Neely was drugged email. There's countless. I'm going to take her car. It's not legal. I'm going to have it towed and sold before she figures that out. Cut up her credit cards. Freeze her bank account. Right? Who's doing that? It's not TPD. That doesn't mean there's not somebody there helping. I don't know. I'm not in that loop. They don't tell me how they get what they get. I have no idea. What I'm going to tell you, though, is you can buy every police officer in the state of Oklahoma. It won't matter. You're not getting to our guys. It's a need to know. 2 policemen. I have said this over and over and over. It's not new news. It's old. 2 policemen told me in 2015 in August, Mr. Perry came to see us or called us or something, I don't know, talked to us, wanted us to just find some way to arrest you. We told him we would not do that. That is not why we signed up to be police. But that doesn't mean he won't find an ass who will help him. Like Richard, maybe? Is Richard a cop? I hear about Rick. Who the hell is Blankenship? Who the hell is Calvin? See, I'm hearing Desiree. Who the fuck is Desiree? I don't know these people, but their names keep coming up on recordings, Mr. Perry. Who are they? They work for you? So I write the U.S. Attorney a letter, didn't I, Mr. Perry? Where's this guy talking about you can ruin it politically? I'm like, I don't give a shit about that. What the fuck difference does some little podunk nobody in Podunk, way over there, Texas, where I don't live and haven't since 8 years ago, what does that have to do with me? Doesn't legislate in Oklahoma. I haven't even voted for 12 years, and I got 800 people I could call if I need something. Why would I need him? Yeah, see? You're off your nut. Here we go. Politically, it won't do a damn thing. Politically, you could ruin him. I said, what? Politically, you could ruin him. Yep, and I don't give a shit about that. I just want him to leave me alone. Costs no money and no time, sir. What are you getting out of what you're doing? See, when we set goals in this thing to try to get the bad guy, you're the bad guy. Princess Perry. I think somebody done her wrong song. The drama, all the time drama. Yesterday, everybody's trying to have a nice little Christmas. Nope, Perry wouldn't allow that. Where was your family when you sat around yesterday and pestered and caused problems and pestered and ruined everybody's day? Where is Jackie and Jordan and Matthew when you do that? I want to know. People need to start holding you accountable on what you do with your time. Because we will. You're going to have to show receipts. Where you been, what you been doing. How often are you in Lubbock? How often are you in Tulsa? You don't need to be in Tulsa. There's no reason on the planet for you to be in Tulsa. Unless there's a court hearing, that you don't need to be up here. None of you do. Unless, David lives in Oklahoma. So does Joe. You and Josh and Matt do not live here. Get back in Texas and don't come back up here again. You got somebody very upset the other day. Why the fuck do we have people from Texas coming up to Oklahoma killing our cops? Yeah, we've been saying the same thing for a very long time. Why are people from Texas coming up to Oklahoma killing our cops? Mr. Perry, you're going to explain all this in our court. Why did you do it to Michael? Why is he in jail right now? You're going to explain this in our court. Do you understand me? You're not getting away with this. And I know you like to brag and you like to gloat. You got that grandiose serial killer thing going in your head. Take yourself down a notch or two. You're caught this time. You're not getting away with that. He's in jail until he's not. And then you will be. And you don't know what day that will be, do you? But you keep asking me, how did you find out we did this? And how'd you find out how did I find out, Mr. Perry? Who did tell me? How do I know that? When you guys call all around, is it you? Are you helping her? Are you helping her? Is it you? You're making me a fucking legend. And you're not getting any answers, are you? It's a need to know. You won't get any answers, Mr. Perry. You don't need to know. If they wanted you to know, if they wanted your money, if they wanted your blood money, people are dying, aren't they? Chief Miller, Mike Neely is sitting in jail again, and he did not kill anybody. And we all know that. You made so many people angry at you. People in law enforcement. He's a cop. I don't know who your little group is, your little crew, all of them. My guys know. They know who they are. So, I'm sorry, but you have deceived yourself for a very long time, Mr. Perry. And you need to stop bullshitting yourself. Get the fuck out of my life. The more you mess with me, the more you get caught. It's been that way for a long time. So this is one piece of evidence that you lied under oath in a court of law, Mr. Perry. What planet do you fucking live on? If you have to ask me who told, you're not getting away with it. Somebody's getting that information and getting it from you and giving it to me. Right? How are they doing that? They got to get a wiretap order or whatever they get. They don't give me all the details on that. We're calling them investigatory orders, aren't we? When you bother me, when you contact me, when we get a recording of you, you never get a date. In 8 years, you've never gotten a date. You don't have anything real. You live in pretend land. People make fun of you because you do that. If ever I act like Charles Perry, shoot me. He's delusional. Coming up here telling everybody that's his girlfriend. She can't stand him. Golly. What planet is he on? They call you Weird Charles. I mean, come on. I mean, I didn't think these names up. If we get what you say, we got our ear to the ground in a lot of places, and you are being made fun of all the time. Because you're hurting everybody. You're making everybody mad. When you act outside social norms and you do things that are illegal that cause injury, it's not just deviant, it's criminal deviant. And people don't like it when you do that. And you're not likely to have help. You're not likely to have help. You've ruled by intimidation. You've ruled by fear and sadness. Everybody's sick and tired of that. And so when somebody else comes along and is just nice, just normal, we're gonna put a stop to this bitch. And then you won't have to be threatened anymore. You won't have to be sad anymore. You won't be broke again. You won't have to worry. Is he gonna do the same thing to me that he did to Cynthia and Mike and Lucky? You won't have to sleep with one eye open anymore because he'll be in jail. He won't hurt you. Do you think it's hard to get information, Mr. Perry? Of course not. Of course not. You're making me mad. When you make me mad, you get told on and told on and told on. What do you think we're going to do with those recordings? What do you think you're going to get from those? Not a date, but you're going to go to jail, Mr. Perry. Or you're going to use them to get a conviction, sir. You're just not all there. You can't connect dots very well at all. So the other thing over the weekend that came out a little bit more was, Mr. Perry's always threatening a second false arrest. That's, he'll try something and it doesn't work. He'll get caught. And then we get another recording of these guys. It is hysterical. They're all talking, we'll just wait till the dust settles and try again. And we're laughing. We're laughing at them. Laughing at these guys. We'll just wait till the dust settles and try again. And we're like, okay. So now we're not going to have one recording about it. We'll have 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 20 and 50 and 100 on the same subject. Right? It didn't occur to you that's how that works? Wait till the dust settles and then we'll try again. Wait till we think everybody's asleep, hit the snooze button and went to sleep. Then we're going to talk about it again. Likely be recorded again. Talk about establishing malicious premeditation. It's not hard. When you got 1 time, 2 times, 5 times 100 on the same thing, and you're caught, we tell you. Oh, by the way, you're caught talking about cutting up my credit card. A credit card that you could only know about if you intercepted my mail. What are you doing getting in my mail? That's a federal crime, sir. Banking is private. There's privacy laws. You don't have any access to my accounts. Your forged marriage license is fraud. That's a whole nother charge, isn't it? 5 years minimum per count on perjury. 5 years minimum. How many times have you went into court of law and lied? Write it down. Add up the numbers. You're an accountant, aren't you? How many times were you told on before you met me? How many after? You're an accountant. Add up, figure it out. What's the numbers? Probably more in 1 week than you did your entire life put together before you met me, right? Why is that, Charles? There's not a date. There'll never be a date. You're disgusting to me. You're disturbing people. Deviant behavior is usually something people don't like. Criminal deviant behavior, even more so. And Dr. Cyril Wecht said of Jeff Epstein, who peeped in his own house, not in other people's homes. Dr. Wecht said, we think that Jeff Epstein was murdered because even prisoners are repulsed by guys like him. They usually get a little help running into a door. Sometimes it's worth contemplating if that's not a little more effective. When you beat up women, would you like help one night being, what are we supposed to do with you? What's more effective in crime prevention for guys like you that have to beat up women to feel like tough? You're that weak. You're that pathetic. You're that girled up that you have to abuse women and children to feel tough. Is it better that you're incarcerated, or should we help you run into a door like they did back in the old days? Phone book upside your head. I mean, you tell us. You're the criminal. What would make you stop? What would make you stop? There's all kinds of criminologists studying all this. They study guys like you. Watch Netflix. There's like 800 zillion in each country. There's, serial killers in America, serial killers in Switzerland, serial killers in the UK, serial killers in Australia. I mean, they got a criminologist and a profiler interviewing all kinds of serial killers, wanting to know, why in the fuck would you do that to another person? Please do tell so we can figure out what can we do to prevent anybody else from doing the horror that you just did to another person. You're the next guy for that, Mr. Perry. What would make you stop? You tell us. So Dr. Wecht is making a proper evaluation of reality. In prison, sex perverts are not well liked. they typically get beat the fuck up. And as hard as prison officials try to keep that from happening, it's not supposed to happen. It does. And so we think Jeff Epstein was killed. So if you upset prisoners that badly, you disturb prisoners that badly, what about normal people? Law-abiding citizens, women and children, and men who don't think it's cute when you abuse women. What do you think they think? People who are law-abiding citizens are horrified by what you're doing to me, and that's part of the reason you keep getting caught. Not how you get a date. It is how you make people hate you and cooperate with anything that will make you stop. And for me, I've been subjected to this for 10 years, Mr. Perry. Hang on.
Leave me alone. I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes and I'll leave you alone.
Oh my God.
Living like that every day is hell. I gotta meet some guy like Pinto when I'm talking to somebody. Is he just a normal person I'm talking to? Or does this guy work for Perry and he knows where I am, comes where I am, knows where I work and shouldn't know or care? And yet here's this man coming in to taunt me. He'll give you $5,000 if you'll fuck him. Yeah, no. Not good enough for 5 minutes, much less any kind of close human interaction. There's no way I'll barf all over him. He makes me sick. Not for $5,000, not for anything. There will never be a date with me. Ever. I don't do weirdo. You gotta be normal to ride this ride, sir. Or ma'am, whichever one. So, we get, or I pick up my phone and he's typing in it. I'm trying to do something and he jams everything up. I'm driving along. Do you know, he had some guy chase me all over Tulsa. I was so mad at myself because I'm because he's done that so much. I've become very, very good at ditching a tail. I'm constantly looking in my rear view. I'm looking 3-4 cars back. I'm always looking around. Who's behind me? And I'll ditch a tail. I never drive straight home. And nobody should know where I am or when I leave my home because I don't make an announcement. I'm not one of these people that puts everything, I blew my nose. It's on Facebook. I don't do that. That's not my thing. I don't even understand people that do that. But, I don't make an announcement where I'm going to go and what I'm going to do. So the only way anybody could know when I'm going to leave my home is they're watching me get ready with their little voyeurism, creepy peeping Tom cameras and stalking me. So I'm driving, I'm good at fucking ditching a tail. So this one pissed me off because it took me 9 minutes to ditch this guy instead of the normal 3. And I was like, oh my God, I'm losing my touch or something. So although he was a lot more persistent, normally you can duck into a neighborhood and just pull in somebody's driveway and they go on by you. This guy didn't. He pulled over too. And then I had to go around. This fucker chased me all over Tulsa. And it took 9 minutes for me to ditch that tail, and it made me mad because I'm normally a whole lot better at it than that. He was fucking persistent. I had to do U-turns and parking lots. It was crazy. But, I didn't freak out because it happens so much. It's just common. It's like brushing my teeth. This is my daily routine now. So what I had to do is... I come home and I do my homework. Most girls would be like, we've got to call the cops. We got to go. Not me. I'm like, yeah, I don't need the cops. I don't need them. So I got it. And so I sit down and I did my homework. What the fuck ever. Mr. Perry, that's how I'll sting up your guys all the time, Mr. Perry. But imagine having to worry even about that. Some guy talking to you, is this guy just a normal dude and he's asking me normal dude questions, especially in a strip club? Or is this some guy who shouldn't even know I'm here, but he does know I'm here? And he's going to come in and say some weird thing like Pinto did to me and make me want to vomit and ask me questions that are none of his business and maybe follow me home, or have his buddy that comes in with him follow me home. Or they call one of their buddies that I haven't even seen yet and that guy follows me home. This is what I'm dealing with all the time. So it's like this, except just Mr. Perry's a little bit more covert about it, but he's still not great at it because I've out-sting-upped every single one of his guys, like Mickey James. Mickey James is a Native American, comes into my work. Again, they're coming to where I am. Nobody's going where they are. So, and Mr. Perry's certainly not a chick magnet. He's a repulsive, like Dr. Weck said. Epstein was. Nobody likes Epstein, Mr. Perry. Did you see anybody cry when he died? Fuck no. The world is a better place because he's not in it. Do you understand? The world is a better place when he's not in it. And I'm not suggesting anybody kill you. What I'm suggesting is that you stop doing what you're doing that makes everybody hate you. That's what I'm suggesting. I'm not making it a murder threat right here. Don't make something out of nothing. You always do. Somebody done me wrong, so that's not what this is. What I'm suggesting that you do is stop it. Easy enough, right? Everyone else can. Why can't you? Because you're pissing everybody off. Do you understand? If your conduct repulses even prisoners, why would it not repulse everybody else? That's my point. Do you understand? Nobody's suggesting anybody hurt Mr. Perry. Please, everybody write this down. Cynthia is not making a death threat here. That's not what this is. I'm making a point that his conduct is very offensive. So bad so it would even repulse prisoners. And maybe you should stop, sir. Because you're never going to get a date with me. You got to be normal to ride this ride, and you can't do it. You're not able. You don't know how. You don't know how to get women to like you. It isn't peep and poke. And when I say poke, I'm using the same metaphor I used with Dr. Russell. Don't make something out of nothing. Don't twist my words. Y'all are great at that, too. You are just like this man.
It's too damn early for this shit. Leave me alone.
He's not a hottie. He's not getting a date with that girl. Nor are you. Nor are you. Let me tell you something. You guys that work for him, you guys that like being, you know, the bitch of a sex pervert, or maybe you are too, go to Vegas, please. Work out your wiki, you know, wax your wiki over there. They have women over there who don't give a fuck. And they're all twisted and weird just like you. And they charge some money, and you can go get, you know, go have your fun with them. And it's perfectly legal, and that you don't need a lie. You don't have a $25 million failed cover-up. You don't got to commit a crime intercepting my mail, cutting up my credit cards, forging a marriage license, making a fool out of yourself. Everybody laughs at you behind your back and getting recorded all the fucking time. You go over there. You go to their little clubs over there in Vegas where this is common. Your little weirdo problems, common. And girls will, accommodate you. They're very discreet. And you can pay them, and then you won't go to jail. And you won't piss me off. And pissing me off is a big problem for you, Mr. Perry. When you contact me, I don't go, oh, yay. I go, oh, my God, not again. Just like her.
How do you dress like this? What are you a prostitute? I'm curious.
Sir, please leave me alone.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes and I'll leave you alone.
Oh, my God. It's too damn early for this shit. Leave me alone.
How do you dress like this?
Okay, so you get the point. And if you look on her TikTok, she's got all kinds of guys, dudes, Mr. Perry, that aren't whiny little drama queens, that are criticizing this guy. Man up. Treat a lady like a lady, or don't expect to have a lady. You're not a chick magnet. You don't have women throwing themselves at you, acting like that guy. You're not getting a date with me, ever. You gotta be normal to ride this ride, and you can't do it. You have had a decade to try to be normal, and you have not for 5 minutes can you be normal. You were on Christmas all day yesterday. Thanks for that, by the way. Where was Jackie, Jordan, and Matthew when you were sitting around doing that? So I get another recording that Mr. Powell calls up here and says, well, we haven't been able to get Cynthia served. Served with what? I keep hearing that being discussed. Did you file something? Because I didn't know at first if you filed something or you were going to file something and you wanted to serve me. What the fuck is that? It better, if I'm going to put it this way to you. There's also recordings of you being told, if you went into court and lied, I wouldn't serve her. I'd quash that whole thing before she sees it. Because she hears y'all talking about serving her, but she's not seeing what it is. She has no idea what you're talking about. And I don't. I have not a clue. I've been told, don't even look. We're going to deal with it. By these cops that keep catching you. Mr. Powell, those guys. the ones that told me that you said, after my false arrest, she torpedoed my case. Well, you have to have a crime, sir. And you didn't bother to preserve evidence. So you knew there was no crime and you had no intent to go to trial. Because every prosecutor by law has to preserve the evidence, and you made zero effort to do that. So you knew there was no crime, there was no case. I didn't torpedo shit. What I did is provided information as to the facts. That's what I would do in any kind of hearing in my 3 civil cases that you guys went into court and poured it up, made that place into a strip club and made it rain. And then I'm not even there. I'm not even there. 5 attorneys, seasoned, against one chick's not been to law school at all. And you can't even do court right. Wow, doesn't get any more fail than that. So, speaking of which, hang on. Okay, so, what's his name? The guy. What's the guy's name? Hansen, Judge Hansen. Remember, I left Texas. I left Lubbock in November 2013 to get away from drama. Perry. Problems, hardships he caused, and not have a conflict. And he came up here. And then there's guys like David Robertson and Pinto and Mickey James and Terry Wagner. So Mickey James tells me, again, he comes to my work and he tells me I'm a retired DEA agent. And I do firearms instructions for local law enforcement and feds. And I go, okay, so I start naming some. Do you know this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy? Nope. Yeah, then you're full of shit. So within 30 seconds, I knew something. He was sent by you. I knew at least that. He's a Native American. So under McGirt, he falls under federal jurisdiction, Mr. Perry. You guys are brilliant. So, Judge Hansen, everyone wants to know, Mr. Perry, since I filed a police report about an incident that occurred on the 16th of January 2016. I filed the police report on the 21st. I get arrested on the 29th. Mr. Powell collected no evidence. In fact, he obstructed Tulsa police from collecting the evidence, didn't he? Because they didn't call me till the 15th of February. I'm already in Lubbock jail by this time. Y'all knew I had to file a police report to get a protective order because my first one was denied because I didn't do that. I forgot the report. I did it. I just forgot the report at home. I had a case number. And Judge Irick wouldn't accept that. So he denied it, non-compliance with title, not 60, whatever. Anybody can look it up. It's public record in Creek County courts. May 2015. It was all over the news, wasn't it, Mr. Perry? Yep, because you're creepy, and then you were mad. So you wanted to buy a lie, didn't you? You're always trying to buy a lie. If you're working, Mr. Perry, you don't need to buy a lie. Get off your ass. Get off your fat, lazy ass. Stop acting like a 1-year-old little girl watching TV pretending that's your life. Put your fucking dolly down and your unicorn and go work like a man. Be a man. We've all had about enough of the Queen Act from you. We're sick of you. I'm more guy than you, and I'm pretty girl. We're all sick of you. Please listen to the words I'm saying. You're getting told on because we're sick of you. Shut up. No one cares what you think. No one cares. You were not asked, were you? Get away from the TV and go work. Then you don't need to buy a lie. And you don't have to send your attorney down to the courthouse or whoever and make it rain on everybody. We don't do that. Normal people don't need to do that. Why do you? You're 5 attorneys against one person with no law degree and you still can't do it right? You still got to buy a lie? Wow, $25 million. And it didn't get you anything, did it? So everybody's wondering, why in the hell did Judge Hansen sign off on an arrest warrant without demanding or requiring evidence of a political vendetta and that a false police report had been filed? 1, that a false police report had been filed, and 2, that was done because of a political vendetta. Because there's no evidence of either one. Produce it, Mr. Perry. And that's what would be asked of you on the stand in my civil cases, which is why you don't let me into court. You won't do even with all those attorneys and me. It's completely lopsided. You can't even do court right. Didn't get any bigger of a fail than that. You procure property on a fraud. That's not one crime, sir, that's two. There's a man sitting in jail right now that you did the same thing to. Here it is right here. You tried to retaliate because I tried to get a protective order against you. You didn't like that. And when somebody's threatening death and false arrest, you need one. And I'm telling my ex-husband in the McNamara email. It's probably here. Let me see if that got put up. In the McNamara email, well, this dated January 1st, 2016. Him false arresting me or kill him, he's not going to vindicate him of stalking. It's going to vindicate me. I did say that's what he was going to do. And then he did it. So if you're a woman, you know how much more terrifying it is when subsequent threats are made? Yeah, it's pretty terrifying. But some of us don't, Okay, this is Officer Neely. When I'm telling you March 2nd, 2020, he didn't do it. He was not given a full talks panel. How did I know that, Mr. Perry? He told me that. Because depositions confirming that were not taken until May. Look at the dates on this. The dates in my case are very, very significant. I'm always saying it before. And you don't like that. And stop blocking emails to Philip and Mallory. And we know you are. And my guys are sitting there recording you. They record everything you do on my phone. You want to sit there and type in my phone? Types right over my typing. And I'm like, oh my God. I don't want to hear it. Get out of my phone. Didn't ask you what you thought, did I? Hacking, cloning, it's illegal, sir. That's a crime. Voyeurism is a crime. Stalking is a crime. Did you understand that? All of that is crime. And you're doing it to me. I left. It's been 8 years. Your politics don't matter to me at all. They never did. If you're 86% Republican, all those people want that kind of person in their office. Guess who all my money has gone to all my life? Pull it up on the FEC. Republicans. I stopped voting. I haven't registered to vote or voted since 2012 to get away from you. So that there's no question. I don't be bothered with this. First, it was just so you couldn't find me. Now, I believe in Oklahoma you can register to vote, and but you know where I live. I have a protected address through the state. That's what the fuck good does that do? You got cameras in my house. You don't have my permission or consent to do that. You don't have my permission or consent to wave around a forged marriage license. There's been no vows exchanged. You're not going to put me in jail or starve me to death and sit me down and tell me how it's going to be. What? I have that kind of help that you can't find it. You think you're going to do that? Who's the help, Mr. Perry? Who the fuck do you think you are? Who the fuck do you think you are? Are you even a man or are you a woman? Because everybody I know that's a man treats women like they like them. Not like they hate them and they're going to violate them and subjugate them and beat them to nothing. You're pathetic. You are absolutely pathetic. You need to get a grip on reality. Listen to all Lori Bori's comments from men. They don't think you're cute. They don't think your type is cute at all. Some of those guys would like to help you run into a door. If they thought it would do any good. Would it? What would work, Mr. Perry, with your type? Incarceration or help you run into a door or both? When we talk about how do you do crime prevention in the future, why don't you tell us what you think? Weigh in. What would help you stop? Incarceration or help you run into a door like they used to do way back when? Take you out behind the shed. Didn't they do that? Man you up? Is that how that worked? So you tell us now, what do you think? Which one would work for you? Which would man you up and make you stop? I don't know. But I'll tell you what, those guys that you hear on her thing, they're like, yeah, I don't think that's cute. Rape culture. Rape culture. That's what you are. So, the guys that get me this, Mr. Perry, they don't think it's cute what you do either. Your name's not on that. Fabian's is. It's not some random name. It's Fabian's name. When I say run into a door, guys, that's a joke. That's not a threat again. Nobody's making a threat. Nobody's suggesting anybody beat Mr. Perry up. Please make a note for the record. Nobody suggests anybody beat Mr. Perry up. It's kind of a joke, first of all. Second of all, like my friend Jason Moore used to say, I'd like to high-five that guy in the face with a chair. I have to be careful making these jokes because Mr. Perry likes to twist things. He's a drama queen. He likes to claim, oh, poor me. Look, she said something. No, we're making a joke, first of all, but I am asking a serious question. What would make you stop? In your opinion, which option would make you stop? Because I'd actually like to hear the answer to that from somebody who does what Perry does. Just philosophically. Criminology is about stopping crime prevention. What would prevent guys like you from doing the weird things you do? The violent, offensive things you do to women. You're raping me in my house every day. You're violating every part of my privacy I have. So I can be pissed about that, Mr. Perry. I get to be pissed about it. I can make a joke about helping you run into a door. It doesn't mean it's not literally Mr. Powell. It's a joke. I'm not suggesting anybody actually do that, but I would like to know from Mr. Perry, what would make you stop? What's more effective in crime deterring for guys like you that like to subjugate women so you feel tough? You're pathetic. You can't keep up. And so you attack women. And you beat us down, especially if we're smart and successful. You can't handle that. See, the way my whole life has been, because I've worked with men mostly in the political world and in medical world, it's predominantly male. And guess what we did? We worked together very fine, very well. It's like a well-oiled machine. There's 40 cops helping me right now. They're all men, Charles. Well-oiled machine. We all compliment each other. They're not intimidated by me in the least. They use my strengths. They're there for me and my weaknesses. Nobody does it all right all the time. But we compliment each other and we weigh each other out. And then when I'm having a tired, bad day, they're not. When they're having a tired, bad day, I'm not. And you work together that way. You don't need to subjugate. Dear Jesus, what's wrong with you? What is wrong with a guy that acts like that? That thinks that way. You're abused as a kid. Boo fucking who? So was Lonnie Evans. He said only 1% of the population becomes a violent offender. 99% can overcome it and you can't. Why? What would help you? Incarceration or running into a door? What would deter your crime? You tell me. I'm not suggesting anybody beat Mr. Perry up. What I'm wanting to know, you, in your opinion, Mr. Perry, because you're the offender, you're the violent offender here, what would help you stop? You tell me. Huh? Because we've begged you. We've sent 3,700 cease and desist emails to you. You take them into court and commit another fraud. You got guys that get me this, that have the kind of power to get me that puzzle in jail, right up under your nose. They can do a whole lot of things, can't they? Okay, so they want to know what you think. What will make you stop? Because we've tried everything. While they're finishing up their case, Mr. Perry, you don't need to keep giving them more. Do ya? You're being stopped because you're not strong enough or powerful enough to just do it yourself and go fucking be normal and leave me the fuck alone. I'm not interested in you. You ick me out. Big time. Like a motherfucker, you ick me out. So, this is a complaint, Mr. Perry, from somebody in law enforcement. I think maybe Lucky or Mike. I'm not told that, remember? I don't know who's on the recordings. I got mad at a local cop one time coming around asking me that. And I was like, dude, how did you know I said, shut up. I'm not supposed to know. There's a reason for that. I don't want you to tell me. If my guys won't tell me, I don't want you to either. I didn't know that was you until you told me. So, thanks for that. I'm not supposed to know. It's been a while. But this guy, we don't want to pull her over all the time. We don't want to harass her for him all the time. We don't want to be weirdos. We don't want to be the bitch of a sex pervert like Sheriff Rowan. That's not my thing. He comes up here and tells everybody she's harassing him. I don't think so. She doesn't call me. He won't stop calling me. Him and Powell. Where's her whereabouts? Can we get her address? What's her whereabouts? Mr. Powell constantly, shut up, Mr. Powell. You're driving everybody up here nuts. You're not a victim, sir. I moved from you two. I haven't done a thing to you. Nobody's going where you are. You guys are coming where I am. You've given me a whole lot of stuff to sue you over, and you can't even do a court right. 5 of you. I'm going to tell you something, Mr. Powell. I met Mr. Giles And I think he's pretty capable of handling me in a courtroom. So what in the fuck is your problem? That I can't actually put you on the stand and cross-examine you. You don't think I have a question or two for you in a court of law under oath to ask? Why the fuck did you do that to me? I lost my house. Why didn't you require evidence that the police report was false? Collect and preserve my evidence like you're supposed to by law. Or the political vendetta. You didn't require it either. Why not? And then you're going to go into a courtroom and lie again? Are you sure you want to get me served with something, sir? I'd be very careful. Do what you do. I mean, please, do what you do. I'm not trying to dissuade you, but I'm telling you. One last time, Perry and Powell and you people, all of you people. Before you do one more thing to me, get in my wallet again, cause one more duress, hardship, lie in a court of law. The guys that got me this puzzle are watching everything you do, and you're pissing them off. And you want to know who told on you? That's who told on you. So, you can cease and desist like you've been asked to do 3,700 times. Or don't complain when you have some legal consequences because of what you're doing. I don't want you, Perry. Out of these recordings, you're not going to get a date with me ever. You're rejected. Hereby, note it for the record, I will never go on a date with some sicko like you. You're a job, and that's it. I will never go on a date with you. You gotta be normal to ride this ride. You can't peep, you can't hack, you can't play with dolls, you can't act like a girl, you can't act like a drama queen, and you can't go into court and lie, and you, most importantly, cannot hurt a police officer, ever. I will never forgive you for what you did to Lucky and Mike, ever. You did a lot to me, and I don't forgive you for that either. But for that one, more than anything else, I will never forgive you for the hurt that you've caused those two families. And we've given you every opportunity to make that right with Officer Neely and get him home. And you have failed. Do you understand what that means? I don't think you do. I think even if I explained it, you won't get it. You won't. I don't think you'll get it. The guys that got me this puzzle, Mr. Perry, got what I said when I said Perry's a butt-in. I want Fabian in my life. I do not want Charles in my life. He's a butt-in, and he causes fear and sadness, and causes intimidation, and he likes beating up women. So he feels tough. He's a violent offender. Get him off me. One time is all I had to say that. And we're all sick and tired of repeating the same thing over and over and over and over. And you are told on it, told on it, told on it, told on. When you pester me, when you cause me loss, when you violate me, peeping, you're a peeping Tom. You're not a date. You're a wannabe. You're not wanted. Ever. You're rejected. Every day. You piss us all off. You bother everybody. You ruin everybody's day. Everybody hates your guts. You get made fun of behind your back. And we get more information. And those recordings are not going to be used to get you a date. They're going to be used to get a conviction. Write it down and go to Vegas and bet on it. And while you're there, find a sick, twisted chick that'll do what you want. And be discreet about it. And do it, they can do it in the Vegas. It's not illegal. And then you don't need to buy a lie. And your attorneys won't have to go into court and make it rain and treat that place like it's a damn strip club. You're pathetic. You're absolutely pathetic. In this country, that is not how that's supposed to work, is it? Where everybody just, we'll just buy a lie. The organized crime. You guys are a bunch of mafia people. Organized crime? Yeah, so finally you got somebody that's giving you a hard time here, giving you a little bit of a headache, right? And you don't quite know what to do about that, do you? But remember, Mr. Perry, when you fuck with me, when you threaten me, when you cause me a problem or a hardship, you want to freeze my bank account, you want to get in my mail, commit mail fraud or whatever that is, and take my mail, remember who the fuck it is you're talking to and who it is you're dealing with, because we've done things you've never seen before. And don't fucking ask me again, who told on me? Who's telling on me? Because that's not something you care about. If you did, you'd stop. Please, share with us. What would be the crime deterrent for you to make you stop? You're not going to buy a lie from me, Mr. Perry. You're not going to subjugate me. What you do is piss me off. And you piss the guys off that got me that. And getting me that in jail was a lot of power. Do you understand? A court of law isn't a strip club. You don't go in there and make it rain. You have 5 attorneys. Be a man and face me in court and do it right. You look pathetic. You don't abuse women and children. If you gotta abuse women and children to feel like a tough guy, and they get mad and say maybe somebody ought to help them run into a door, well, go cry somewhere about that. It's not to be taken literally, Mr. Perry. No, Jason Moore didn't mean for somebody to go high-five somebody in the face with a chair when he said it, and I expect you to stop acting like a little girl. When I say it, it's a joke. But I would like to know what would work better, what would make you stop. Because we're all anxious to know that. What in the fuck words do we use to make you stop? While they finish their investigation, you stop. You are the criminal. You're in my house. You're invading my privacy. You're butting into my life. Get out of it, and you stop. And don't you tell me what to do. Remember who it is you're talking to. You stop the crime. Do you understand? Don't again threaten me. Don't. Get a life. Get the fuck out of mine. Get some dignity. Where's Jackie, Jordan, and Matthew when you're up here doing all this shit to me? You're going to have to start accounting for your time with our people. So I don't care what the guys that got me that. They're going to make you do that. God help you if you can't. You don't belong in my life. Nobody owes you anything. You're pathetic. Nobody owes you anything. And you stop. Thank you.